If you are looking at this chart and you are worried, you are scared of what is going on, you are exactly what the market is trying to achieve. So I want you to watch this video and take it all very, very seriously. Bitcoin has come down to this area of support that you guys know I was expecting it to find a little bit of support in, because it was able to find a lot of resistance up here previously, and it fits in really nicely with the fractal pattern that you guys know I've been talking about for a little bit. I just want to my fucking TradingView. I still haven't got my TradingView subscription sorted out. I will do that right after this video. Go back to the previous video and check it out. But we are right now fulfilling that fractal. I'm going to show it to you anyway, because I think it's really important to just quickly highlight this again. And it's just showing you how Bitcoin is doing exactly the same thing right now that it did previously, right? And you guys will know from my previous video that we actually kind of deviated from it a little bit here, where we kind of traded sideways a little bit, moved up sideways again, and then came back down. You know, yesterday or 2 days ago when I made my most recent video, I was talking about how like we're kind of doing something a little bit different. We are back on track right now, and that's why I want you guys to keep this in mind as the market's trying to scare you and spook you a little bit, because what we're seeing right now is nothing bad at all, in my opinion. I really think that we're not in a particularly horrible position whatsoever, and that is purely because, ladies and gents, if we take a look at where we are and put this all into perspective, and this is before we even get into all the rest of the analysis that I want to share with you guys, it's just not that bad of a pullback that we're in right now, right? If we zoom out and really just kind of look at this, Bitcoin made a nice big move up, had a pullback, made a nice big move up. It did pause, but now we're just having a bit of a pullback. This honestly might have been enough, right? And the reason that I'm saying this might have been enough is, okay, granted, long-term support is still really far away, and it's still saying that we need to come down. We're too far away from long-term support from things like the Ichimoku cloud. But things like the EMA ribbon, we're in it right now. Guys, the last time that we actually managed to use the EMA ribbon as support was back here. And it was a fairly similar circumstance, right? We just kind of start looking a little bit heavy. We drop into it. We spent a few days down here, and then we rocketed straight back up from the low to the high that Bitcoin set. That was a 17% move. And if we do the same thing again right now, that actually puts us off my chart up at what is this number? $33,000 if we managed to do the same thing that we did last time. And that's why, like, I'm just like, when we start dropping, it actually just means that the market's giving us a chance to come back down, capture some really nice areas of support, and then continue to move back up. So it's really not the end of the world at all, in my view, when I look at stuff like that. And also the Ichimoku cloud. Now, granted, we are right now just grasping on the edge of it. I mean, just holding on for dear life, but we do still have support. And if this did end up working as support and the market starts moving up from here, would it be surprising that we had yet another phenomenal bounce off the cloud? I don't think so. So I think that this still does look really good. Now, at the very same time, we keep in mind what's going on in traditional finance. We're not doing too bad, right? I mean, there is a bit of a discrepancy here. Bitcoin's dropping, traditional finance is doing well. You know, gold hasn't been doing horribly either. You know, it's holding a very, very good amount of strength. By the way, I have a very, very cool announcement. Have now officially bought my first physical gold bar of my life. So I am now as red-pilled as it gets. I own Bitcoin and I own physical gold, and I feel really, really proud of that. Really standing by my word. And yeah, I believe that these are the only two things that are worth buying. So that's really cool. I actually bought it out in Dubai, but I'm not in Dubai right now. But it is there. So that is very, very cool. But let's bring it back to the video here and just cover what might happen if we start kind of losing these areas of support. Now, look, like I said, we are kind of holding on with the 4-hour time frame, right? Short-term time frames are going to change quickly. Long-term time frame, it actually looks good that we're moving down because we can capture support. But on the shorter-term time frames, things just change more quickly, and that's why they're wrong more often as well. But if we do end up losing this area, I would expect a further drop down towards the bottom of this range, right? This green box, basically all it's doing is highlighting the top of this range where Bitcoin is finding a lot of resistance. So at the bottom of this range where we were finding a lot of support is a very logical area to see the price fall down to if we lose this area. So it's really not that bad. From our current price down to this area, we'd be looking at about a 7% drop. And this is a fairly decent trade. You know, if you look at the market kind of dropping down something a little bit like this, just trading it if it loses support, for example, or if the market loses this swing low and then drops down, like that could be a fairly high probability trade. It's certainly not my cup of tea. It's bad for a few reasons, in my opinion. Number one, we're in a kind of bullish market right now, so I don't, you know, it's just the default for me is going to be long. I don't want to go short. I'm actively against going short. It's just more dangerous, right? Like that's kind of it. That's all it boils down to. It's just more dangerous. You're more likely to be wrong. But 2, it's a pretty tight range. And 3, I would be going short directly into a daily EMA ribbon. So it's definitely like not the best of situations, but I'll tell you what's really cool, guys. I want to highlight something extremely important to you right here is Bybit, the only exchange pretty much that I'm using for trading these markets, is offering you up to $30,000 in trading commissions and in deposit bonuses. And they're also running this iPhone 14 Pro Max giveaway where all you've got to do is sign up on Bybit using my link down below and make your first deposit of $100 or more, and you're entered to get this iPhone. So what's really cool is depending on how much you deposit, minimum $100, you're entered into the giveaway and you're going to get free cash on Bybit to be able to trade it anyway. And what makes this especially interesting is like, when they're giving you free cash, you can trade with that money, right? You don't need the perfect chart in order to take advantage of that money because it's free money, right? If you make money with it, great, you can withdraw it. But if you didn't make money, if you lost it, it doesn't matter because it was never yours to begin with. No one's getting hurt. It's one big fucking company losing a little bit of money, right? It doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to you. And that makes this offer extremely powerful. Guys, if you haven't taken advantage of it yet, definitely check it out with the link in the description down below. And if you already have an account, you can make a brand new one and then still take advantage of this offer. So there's no reason not to get in on it. It is just free money waiting for you to take it. But if we come back to this chart now, that drop would be what I'd be expecting. Now, if that fails again, it will be 25K as I've been saying in my videos. This is still the most important level on the chart in my opinion. It's where Bitcoin was originally topping out, and it's where Bitcoin topped out again many months later, 196 months later, 190 days, and we still got rejected at the same level. And not only did we get rejected at the same level, it still caused a big 22% drop within just 2.5 weeks, right? Very similar thing right here, 26% drop within just 3 weeks. Very similar drops, very similar time frames off the exact same price level. 25K is critical, and that's why I think this is a really good area of support. If Bitcoin is going to cut deep, that's where I think we're going to go. My only concern is this. Now, and this is, and I'm changing, I haven't said this yet. Now, I said this a little bit, but not too much, and I've stopped saying it recently. Because Bitcoin is so high, it actually has a long way to fall if it does come down to 25. And so while I'm sitting here right now, while Bitcoin's at $29,000, very easily able to say to you, hey guys, I think 25K is a good buy. As the price starts coming crashing down, like it can come in the form of a big fuck you candle like that, right? Like that can totally happen. Stuff like that has happened a million times in crypto before and Bitcoin before. If it comes in that form, ladies and gents, people are going to start getting scared, and I think the market might start to drop even lower. You've got to imagine a lot of people are in long positions right now, long positions that they entered up here, long positions that they entered up here, down here, for example. If you're like me and you're sitting in over $200,000 in profits, shout out to those of you that have been trading this market with me. You have been fucking killing it. We have been killing it, and that has been very, very cool indeed. Do me a favor and smash up the likes if you found any of the videos I've been posting during this market useful for you, entertaining, informative, educational, whatever the case may be. I really do appreciate all your support. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff so you don't miss out on all this time-sensitive content, because right here, we are slaying in these markets with this analysis. What I would be expecting if Bitcoin did come down to this area with a lot of fear in the market is that we find a deviation down at some lower levels and then come back up, right? And that would be in the form of like 25K is the main area of support. But I've been saying, I actually did say this a while when we were up here, that if we did come down 24, or I'm sorry, more specifically 23.8 may end up getting tagged, this line down here. But these areas that we can grab liquidity at, you know, kind of go all the way down to 22.8, really. I mean, even 21.5, I don't think we would go this low necessarily, but like this is low. I mean, this is basically like nearly, you know, it's around like $8,000 lower, you know, from the high that we've just set. That would scare a lot of people. But even if we fell down all the way this low, we're only punching in a new higher low, and that is amazing, right? Like it's only when we punch in the higher lows can we continue rising up. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Right now, over these last, you know, days, everything has been amazing for everybody, and you know, the market is giving us a little bit of a dose of reality right now, but that's completely fine. It's no big deal. Again, I want to highlight the S&P 500 traditional finance issue is that, like, if these things are still doing well, you know, if the dollar is still at an abysmally low level right now, I mean, just really in a weak position overall. I mean, granted, still at major support. Let's not, you know, let's not pretend this support doesn't exist. A lot of people are acting like the dollar doesn't have a support level right now where it is. It does, and it's a big support area, this 101 area right here. But with traditional finance still showing us the same correct signs that we want to see for Bitcoin moving up, I think that Bitcoin's still poised to continue its rally up, right? Like as long as, like, for example, put it this way. Here's a hypothetical for you to consider. If Bitcoin, which has been so well correlated with the S&P 500, generally speaking, over the last like extremely long time, to be honest, I don't even know, like months, if not many, a year or two, if during all of this period, that kind of correlation, that relationship has existed where when traditional finance tech stocks are performing well, Bitcoin tends to perform well. And we know why, guys. I mean, you can tell me why you're in Bitcoin, but like everybody is in Bitcoin because it's a sexy tech asset, which we can make money off, right? And so the S&P 500 collects all of these companies too. I'm pretty sure like Tesla's in there, for example. And so I might have mistaken that. That would be very embarrassing if I did. But you get my point. And so when this correlation has existed for a long time, if it kind of stops for a little bit, I'm not worried about that, right? It's going to come back. It's always happened. It always has. And so crucially, if we start seeing major breakouts on indices like the S&P 500 and we start kind of tapping levels up here, do you think Bitcoin's going to keep dropping, right? Like I like, if that's the case, then that means the depegging that Bitcoin has, basically, where Bitcoin is no longer kind of pegged in some way to the S&P 500, would get so big, it would become so severe. If Bitcoin keeps dropping and the S&P 500 keeps rising, it would almost be like what was happening around the FTX time, right? Remember when FTX collapsed? It was November of last year. Look at the S&P 500 at the same time. S&P 500 did drop at the very beginning of November, but it was skyrocketing at that time. I mean, it had a day where it was pretty horrific, but that was it. S&P 500 was flying at that time, where crypto was in the deepest, darkest pits it's potentially, depending on who you are, ever been in, and so we did see a decoupling there. We would see that again if that's what we're looking at right now. But where's the stimulus, right? Like, is it Binance, having some US legal drama? Is that the stimulus? All right, well, we've tried that a million times before. Is it another exchange collapse? Look, maybe there is a news article that's locked and loaded, ready to go, to just rip on the markets and destroy everything that we know and love. Maybe that's what's going to happen. But you know what, mate? If that's you taking that opinion right now, that's what's going to happen, you can keep your bet. Because I'm not going to keep betting on like subtle maybes that may or may not happen. And if they happen, it's a black swan event. Like, look, look, when a black swan comes, I'm going to lose money. All right. Let's get that clear. Like I've said this before. I want to make this point abundantly clear for you all. I'm not in the business of getting things 100% correct, okay? I'm in the business of getting things 80% correct, 51% correct, 22% correct, as long as I'm still making money at the end of the day, as long as I'm still making money at the end of the month. Because what a lot of people don't understand is that you can have a success rate of 1 in every 5 trades ends up in the green. But if each of your losses are really small and if each of your wins are really big, you're chilling, bro. You're doing all right? You can have a low success rate, but really good risk management, right? You don't throw too much money into your trades and so on and so forth. You already know the deal. You know the hygiene when it comes to trading. You can have all of that and still lose most of your trades and still be profitable. That's what a lot of people don't get. So like, everyone's like, this big catastrophic, like horrible apocalypse can happen at any point. And it might be ready to happen now. Like, okay, fine. You keep your fucking prediction, mate. You keep your theories. I don't care. I don't even agree or disagree. I don't have attention for it. I don't care, because I'm just going to bet on the probabilities. I'm going to put my money on the probabilities. They tend to work out, and across a long enough time horizon, I'm guaranteed to be successful if I'm choosing good probabilities. So that's my take there. And if that kind of approach is uncomfortable for you or anything like that, you're probably not in the right place. I mean, like that's what trading is, really, at the end of the day. You can have different approaches that are a little bit like, maybe you're more of an investor, you're more of a fundamental, analyst or whatever. But at the end of the day, if you're like if you're kind of consuming this kind of content, we're talking about short-term price moves and price gaps where we can monetize off them. We're trading short-term. We're not day trading, that's degenerate, but we're still trading short-term moves. And if you're not comfortable with the idea of like you just kind of play the best probabilities and just wait, then it's not for you, because that's what trading is. Trading isn't anything more than that. You're just you're finding the best probability setup, putting money in that direction, having conviction when it gets scary, and waiting. And that is it. That is your job. And that's how you turn the very, very impressive profits. Guys, I'm so happy with how this position has gone along, over 200k and 423% ROI. I do want to highlight to you once again that I did make that trade on Bybit, so definitely check that out if you have the time while you're down there with the link in the description. I want to go very, very quickly to a few other things. Ethereum against Bitcoin continuing to lose dominance. Ethereum against the dollar has become has dropped massively as well. I can't speak right now. Ethereum against the dollar is down by 10%, and this looks like a fake out. But even more than that, this is the exact drop that I was saying I'm hoping to see on Ethereum in my most recent Ethereum video. So go check that out on the 𝐷𝐷𝐿𝐴𝑖𝑟S Daily channel. That was impressive. We were talking when Ethereum was that high up, right where my cursor is, about how Ethereum could be ready to drop down to about 1920. Lo and behold, we're at 1930, very, very close, and the low that we set was 1925. So that is very impressive how accurate that analysis has been. I will see you all on the 𝐷𝐷𝐿𝐴𝑖𝑟S Daily channel after this video as well, so just double check that you have already subscribed. It's the first link in the description down below to my second channel, and our predictions have been so accurate. A lot of you guys have already made a good amount of money watching that channel as well, which is extremely cool, and that's not going anywhere. I'm only ramping it up. So there you go. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. I am going to be keeping this one a little bit shorter than my normal Bitcoin videos, purely because I gotta go. I don't want to sit around on my laptop right now. But if you have enjoyed this one, guys, you know what to do. Hit up the like, subscribe, tick the bell, do all of that good stuff. I am very happy to be back. You're going to be seeing a lot more of me in the next little bit. And I'm just going to be pumping out these videos, looking at these markets right here with you guys. So I'll see you all very soon. And thank you for watching. Cheers.